Sairaj. It is such a joy to have you for Confab, a special initiative started by My Big Brand Story to share unique stories and compelling brand narratives.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you for having me over.
I've been reading about you for such a long time, and I've seen that you've created waves by your unique product that you've offered to Indian market. So what is Wakao? And how did you arrive at this brand name? It's so interesting.
So yeah, this is the most frequently asked question that I get. What's Wakao? What does Wakao mean? And Wakao actually means nothing. It's just an expression of happiness. It's an expression of joy. It's like Yahoo, Wakao. So there's nothing associated with it. It's just that we are a very youthful, young brand, which is very happy, which is very colorful. So those are the characteristics that are associated with us. And this name came around. So we had an agency which got us this name. It's not my creation. I have a good friend now whose name is Manish Masi, who heads that agency, who they brainstormed. We went over more than 200 names. And the brief to me was very simple. I said, the name could be abstract, could mean nothing, but jo aadmi ek baar sune, wo bhulna nahi chahiye. It has to be impactful, in that sense. Right. So that's when we came with Wakao. One of the names in the list was Wakao. I said, yeah, this sounds nice. It has a ring to it, and I like it. And my initial instincts were that people will like this name. This name will resonate, of course. And I went with my gut feeling, and yeah, it worked well.
Interesting. So, what's so unique about Wakao? Could you just share something about that and something about your journey?
Yeah. So Wakao is a very unique brand in the sense that it's young. Normally what happens is when you have vegan brands or brands which have issue-based brand, which has an issue which it is serving or it's addressing, those brands are normally very serious, very old-fashioned, if I may say, would have very serious pictures and backgrounds and color palettes. But when I was starting Wakao, I said that we need to create a brand that everybody could connect with. It's something that is fun, that would be recreating the whole vegan world in a very fun way. And when we give you so when Wakao came about, one thing was very clear that I wanted to do with it was that I wanted to create a product that could be consumed by any living person, irrespective of his moral compulsions, religious compulsions, dietary compulsions. There should be no compulsion. Therefore, it had to be vegan. So there are 3-4 main, main pillars on which Wakao stands. One is that it has to be animal cruelty free. It has to be good for the country, good for the world and the planet. And third, it has to be tasty, and it has to be something good for your body as well. So these are the 3 pillars on which it's built. And the journey has been amazing, so far. So it's been close to a year and 2 or 3 months now that we're building Wakao, and 10 months prior to the launch, where I really went deep into it and tried and created the whole thing. So from ideation to product, it was a 10-month span within which we brought this product to life. And post that, it's been almost a year and 2 months now, and doing pretty well. There were a lot of tough times. Every venture has its own challenges. The challenge was a little tougher this time because it was born during the pandemic. There were a lot of that we had to deal with and work around, and it was fun. It was a good journey all along, and we've just got started. There's a long way to go.
Interesting. I think what all of us in our team liked is that how you're using jackfruit to create a vegan brand. So could you tell us something about that and why jackfruit?
So, jackfruit is one of the most ignored fruits in our country. And me coming from the southern part of India, southern western part of India, we've eaten jackfruit all our life. So we've grown up eating jackfruit, and we always found jackfruit an amazing fruit, but it never got its due. And one day I was reading, a friend sent me an article which had the headline, "Jackfruit, the superfood of the world." And that just got me thinking. I said, what are we doing with all this jackfruit that is here? It's just waste. I literally have a jackfruit tree in my house, in my backyard. So
Okay.
the fruits fall down and they rot, and people wait for them to rot and they just throw it away.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
realized there was something wrong, there was some mismatch somewhere, and someone had not identified this. I saw a gap in the market. I did my research, then I went deeper into it. At that time, I was not too aware of what the whole mock meat market was and what that scenario was. And when I started, it was actually the idea was jackfruit. It was not never mock meat. So it was
Hmm.
about promoting jackfruit, and that's how I one thing led to another. And as I went deeper into it, I realized that this is not jackfruit; it's a jackpot, and we really have to use this, and not only for see, every business is built to make profits and to create some kind of a huge empire, a brand that can be valued and that people look up to. But it also had another dimension to it where I was actually giving back to my society and my own fruit that I've grown up eating, which is now going to get its due. And a lot of farmers in Goa, so people had stopped plantations of jackfruit. And they were
Hmm.
not very happy doing jackfruit because there was no yield for it. No one was buying it. And
Hmm.
jackfruit, if I have to tell you, is a fruit which doesn't need too much of cultivation. It grows on its own. अगर नहीं चाहिए तो भी
Interesting.
jackfruit है. It just grows. It's a very rugged fruit. So
Hmm.
I all of these things really, really made sense, and we had to give this a shot. And good that I gave it a shot. Yeah,
I know, I know. It's so interesting. In fact, I think North Indians also consume jackfruit. They call it kathal, and
yeah,
it tastes really good. I think it's one fruit which, whenever consumed, it is very interesting. Either in a raw form or in a ripe form. Both the forms are interesting. Uh,
yeah.
s- so you have such an interesting product portfolio. So how did you arrive at that? It must have been very interesting journey to kind of identify which are the SKUs that you will have in your portfolio. So could you share something about that as well? Because it's quite interesting for the budding entrepreneurs to know like how to ideate your product portfolio as well.
One thing that not too many people know is that I was not only going to do jackfruit. Wakao was going to be a multidisciplinary brand with a lot
Oh,
of other
interesting.
food products also. So this no one knows about it. And I had even done the artwork of two other products which were not jackfruit.
Okay,
And
interesting.
and uh, so we were doing. I can tell you also we were planning on doing something with kokum, something with
Okay,
mango.
okay.
uh, yeah, jackfruit was one of the things, in it. And then suddenly I thought of this thing, and I I, I realized that instead of hitting one hitting four nails once each, I hit
Hmm.
one nail four times. And I thought
Hmm.
that made sense. And I realized that this is an untapped market and something that we really need to explore. It's a risk, it's a chance, because it's a category creation. It was
Absolutely.
it wasn't a category which was there. We had to create this category. We had to create something different. So I said, a gut feeling again. I go a lot with my instincts and my gut. So it said that this will work. This is something that the people will want. And
Hmm.
one thing for sure, because I've eaten jackfruit. I've been always eating jackfruit, and just to tell you, I've said this many times before. My grandmom used to call it and give it to us and call it chikana chibaji.
Okay,
So chicken
interesting.
is chikanachi bhaji. I
Hmm.
realized that subconsciously we've been consuming jackfruit as a mock meat since times immemorial. Our grandparents have always because of the texture, it was meaty. So I thought this will really work. And that's when I said, let's just stick to jackfruit. At the cost of losing the money that I spend in designing those things and all, I just made one call one day to Manish, and I said, Manish, stop everything. Jackfruit.
Hmm.
So, still jackfruit. So
Right.
that's how we arrived at that. And then different flavors based on what would be the target market, where we want to go, what would be the audience, what are the palettes that people would like. Based on that, we had then we got. So one thing that I always believed in was getting the best people to do the job for you. If you're not good at something, or you're not the best skilled at a particular thing, get someone who's
Absolutely.
really good at it. Don't try doing a hodgepodge job with your own
Hmm.
limited skill set. So I had the best consultants curating the products for me, because they had to
Hmm.
be vegan. If you are doing a butter jack, it had to be without butter, without animal butter, no. So it had to be a vegan.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Right.
so we did that, and not that it all comes out best at the first go. There
Hmm.
are I still believe that my products need improvement, and we are still improving it. And in fact, a whole new range of our old products is also going to come out very soon, because we know what the feedback is. And again, one thing is that the taste is subjective. Not everybody is
True.
going to like everything that you make. What I like, you may not like. What you like, someone else.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
there's certain feedback that we get, and we have a parameter on which we judge it. Based on that, now we've done some changes. We've done a lot of changes in our products. We're introducing some new products also. So very soon you're going to see some amazing products coming out from our backyard. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Cool. I'm a non-vegetarian turned vegetarian. Like I used to eat meat till my fifth grade. So
Yeah.
I understand when you said chikanachi bhaji. So I very well remember, you know, what is the texture of meat and what is the texture of kathal or jackfruit. So I think
Correct.
I think you're bang on when you said it is chikanachi bhaji, chicken's like chicken tasting, chicken feeling, and chicken or meat feeling. It gives you that meaty feeling.
You need to understand another thing.
Yes,
Jackfruit, raw jackfruit, the ones which we use, tender jackfruit, doesn't have a taste of its own. It
absolutely.
takes the spice or the flavor of whatever spice you put it in. If you put
Right.
it in a chicken kind of preparation, it'll taste like chicken. If you put it in a
Hmm.
mutton rogan josh kind of preparation, it'll taste like that. If you put it in a
Absolutely.
sabzi, it'll taste like a vegetable. So
Hmm.
I realized that jackfruit is the most versatile fruit that I've ever seen in my life, and
Hmm.
therefore it had so many facets to it, which had to be explored, and that's what we are
Hmm.
trying.
Right. It's interesting. I think I also saw that your burger tikki is like a product which everyone likes. It's super cool, and I have seen you have your these ready to cook bhaji recipes, right? So all these foods that you have, they are ready to eat. So how do you ensure that you are managing the shelf life? It's interesting. And I also at the same time know that you are saying that you are um, making a product which is sustainable. So could you throw some light on both these things, like how you are doing that? You're increasing the shelf life, at the same time you are also talking about sustainability.
So our products undergo a simple process called retort packaging.
Okay.
There's no rocket science involved in it. It's a very simple process which everyone does. A lot of
Right.
big companies use retort packaging. It's a simple heating process.
Right.
So it's preservative free. It
Hmm.
kills the bacteria inside the packet and gives it the status quo shelf life. So we have a
Hmm.
shelf life of 12 months. So
Right.
that's how it remains preservative free and yet has a shelf life without any refrigeration. So that's
Hmm.
the USP of the product. Now, as far as our burgers are concerned, yes, they are our best selling product. We are also coming up with another variant now, and it's going to be
Interesting.
called the Jackfruit Supreme Burger Patty.
Oh,
So yeah, I won't tell
nice.
you about it, but I can trust me. It's one of the best things I've eaten, and it has that whole texture and the feel of a proper burger. So our
Hmm.
previous patty was a lot like a tikki.
Hmm.
It had that kind of a texture. So that will also be there. But now we'll have a burger patty, which can
Hmm.
really compete with the big fellows out there,
Right,
and
right,
which people really like.
right. Interesting. And I got to understand that you're doing something very incredible. So you're saying that you're contributing 1% of your top line to create something for the farmers to help them, help these farmer associations. Could you throw some light on that? Because it's very rare that you find startups doing this. Because
Like I told
startups are,
you,
sorry.
no, no, go on, go on.
Yeah. So startups are so focused on their growth, cracking numbers, initial traction. So somewhere this, angle or this aspect of business is missed out. So how did you, think of consciously think of this?
So I come from a background and a family which is into business for 4 generations. I'm a fourth generation entrepreneur. We have a lot of business interest. My family is also very deep into social work. So my dad does a lot of things. He's the
Lovely.
national board of Indian Red Cross. We've been very closely associated with Rotary and a lot of other things. So, giving back to the society has always been one of my biggest agendas from as I was always growing up. I've seen it from very close quarters. Like I told you in the initial start of our conversation, that one thing was, yes, growth and the value and want to create a big brand. The second part of it was definitely to give back to the society. To I could see a segment of the society which was not doing really well because of jackfruits not being used. Very
Mm,
specific. So
right.
now what I'm doing is I'm creating an ecosystem where a lot of more farmers can get fair prices for their jackfruit. It just wouldn't go waste. They could actually benefit out of it. People may want to take back to growing jackfruit and would do it in a bigger strength, because we need a lot of jackfruit in the future. Going forward, the way we are going right now, I foresee a lot of jackfruit that we require. And the 1% that we give back to the society is for upliftment of the lives of the farmers. Somewhere where we
Absolutely.
can provide education to their children, or we can give them a machine which they can make it a little easy for them to do. So those are small things, small initiatives that we are doing, because see, we are also now getting into the big game. We were very small till now, and it's now that we are out there in the focus and people are liking our product and we are getting the recognition that we're getting right now. And I'm just grateful for all of that, and I look at it as a huge responsibility to grow this mission and grow this into something which people can really be proud of. And the bigger we grow, the more we can give back, and that's the aim. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's incredible. I think this is so interesting, and the way you narrated that, you're trying to create an ecosystem. I think very few entrepreneurs think in this direction. I think you're doing commendable job. I think
Thank you.
it's super interesting. There's something that I want to know. We have seen that you've created such brilliant product. You've overcome all the initial, um, inertia that you had. All that you've done. Could you tell something about your first aha moment?
uh, Plenty of them now, and now I've got over it also. But
Okay.
one the first moment was my a moment that really gave me great satisfaction. Aha moment was, yeah, I can say, but that was too, it was nothing great if you look at it now. But at that point of time, it sounded nice. Like a friend of mine, he got me on a conference call with someone else from Bombay, and we were
Okay.
talking, and he said, I want you to speak to this guy. He's a young guy who's building a big brand, and it's called Wakao. And we were very new. We had just launched and we were doing sales across India. And so she said, oh, Wakao. Oh, yes, yes, we ordered your food. My mom just ordered it the other day and we loved it. So that was a nice feeling, someone somewhere.
Wow.
It's normal. But it was like new. First time, like someone in Bombay saying, I've already had Wakao. I know Wakao. That itself was a nice moment for me. But something that really stands very close to my heart is, I've always said this. My aim in life always, it is not because of Wakao. From before, from when I had just quit law. From at that moment, I always had one thing in my heart, and that was to create a product which would be called Made in India, Made in Goa, and which will go across the world. So I didn't know what that product was or what it would be, but that was just something that was there, in my subconscious mind always, that kuch aisa karna hai.
Mhm.
And the
Right.
day first consignment went to Dubai, that was a very, very satisfying moment for me, because a
Mm.
small part of my dream was fulfilled. Although there's a lot more that we want to do, but it was just a very satisfying moment that I was very happy that we managed to do it. We managed to create a product which was good enough to be taken to another country. That's about it. That was a good satisfactory moment for me in life. Yeah.
Interesting. I
So
think
there are a
it's
lot of things that have happened.
yeah,
Now I've come on TV. There's been now people click selfies on airports and all of these
I know.
things. But none of those things can give you
Hmm.
that pleasure and that kick in life. So I always say this. Now it's good. I'm filled with gratitude. I'm very happy that people recognize me and they are inspired by me, and they want to talk to me, and I'm more than happy doing that. I'm very happy and I'm grateful. But that doesn't excite me anymore. What
Hmm.
excites me, how much value we can add. Now what next? What are we doing? So the other day we got an order from 6 Carrefours in Dubai. So Carrefour, the
Wow.
supermarket. So
Yes,
we got
I know.
6 of them, and we've got a very big order from there. That was a nice moment. And we got
Hmm.
on Swiggy Instamart. So we'll be very soon supplying to 12 regions in Swiggy Instamart across India. We'll be available all across. So that's a nice moment. So these
Hmm.
are things which actually really give me a bigger kick and happiness. So yeah, so that's how it is right now.
That's interesting. So, apart from Dubai, which are the other markets that you are serving currently?
So we are already in Norway. We are in Netherlands. We are talking to more than we are in second, tertiary stage discussions with more than 10 countries, 10 to 15 countries, if not more. And I foresee in the next 4, 5 months, we should be there in a few more countries and
Wow,
doing.
that's
Yeah.
incredible. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Your dream, whatever dream you had, it's getting
Yeah.
manifested. It's like intention, action, manifestation. So I think
It
that
happens. You
happening.
just need to stick to it, and then it happens. Those
Yeah.
opportunities come by, and you need to grab them with both
R-
hands.
Right, right, right. Interesting. So, what do you think is one key highlight of your entire journey, like right from your childhood to your, personal, professional career, and then now as an entrepreneur, or otherwise also? What do you think has been one key highlight, which all of us, including the budding entrepreneurs or the young students, would take as an inspiration?
So it's not about bragging about. I don't believe in that. I don't brag. But if you ask me one quality, I think my mother would also say that in me is that perseverance. So I think for anybody, if you want to achieve something, and especially an entrepreneur, you need to be very perseverant on what you want to do. You need to have that never say die attitude. You cannot give up. So I've never given up in life. I've had so many hardships. See, I don't want to sound melodramatic. I come from a good family. I've been
Mm-hmm.
blessed, and there's no sad story in my story. Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm honestly blessed, but I've built all of this on my own. This is my own business. I've built it with my own money. There's no family money involved in this. But I've had a nice childhood, very nice childhood. But perseverance has always been there since childhood. So I played cricket for the state. I
Lovely.
always I was perseverant at it. I wanted to do it. Then I married my long-time childhood girlfriend from 10th standard. Okay, that
Oh,
perseverance.
wow. That's
So yeah,
interesting.
so we completed 18 years of dating just last week, and I'm 33. So
Sounds
yeah, so
cool.
that was again perseverance. Then I did law. I wanted to do law. No one ever forced me. In fact, one thing about me is that no one can ever force me to do law or to leave law or to not
Mhm.
leave law. I did
Mhm.
all of those calls were mine. And another thing is that I take responsibility for what I do. So if I take a
Mhm.
particular decision, I take full responsibility for it. If it fails, I take it on me. If it does well, then obviously then I'm praised for it. But I've seen the brick bats also. This is my fourth venture. I've done three
Is
ventures
it?
before it. Yeah.
Okay,
And
interesting.
yeah, so all the three ventures also, when I did each one of them, I knew that this is not what my ultimate aim is. But you have to keep trying and keep doing. You can't stop till you reach there. So that's how it went on. It kept on going. So when I left law, I said, okay, this is what I want to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do business. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. My dad is an entrepreneur. He's a businessman. My dad's older brother, is a lawyer, very big criminal lawyer in Goa. So I was always very close to him and I was working with him. But I didn't
Mm.
enjoy it. So I took that
Mm.
call. See, I disappointed him and my entire family. They thought I would be a great lawyer. I probably may have also been a great lawyer, but that wasn't giving me happiness. And I thought that I can't disappoint myself. If I can't keep myself happy, how will I keep others happy? So that was
Absolutely.
a key moment, when I took a decision, said I will leave this and see what I need to do next. Then I did that. Then I did three more ventures. Then ultimately I stumbled upon this, and then Wakao happened. It was very difficult initially. People said, are you even serious? Sai, are you building a brand? Building a brand is a Herculean task. There are such big giants out there, MNCs who have big brands. It's about putting in a lot of money and pumping in unimaginable cash. Only then you build a brand. So I said, okay, let's try. I believed in my gut. I believed that we could create a brand. And I spent money. I spent a lot of money that I earned in my previous venture, but not as much as it was that I imagined or they said. But we still built a decent enough brand over a period of a year. And now we have people who are out there ready to back us. And now people
Hmm.
believe in our vision. And today I'm so happy to say that we have so many people who are ready to back us today. And we have to tell them to just hold down. Let So I'm just grateful. I'm just happy and I'm grateful to all of these people who believe in us. And it's not that I'm trying to be cocky or brash that we don't want your money right now, whatever. But we are also in a structured manner, and we will definitely come back to you. I will come back to all of you all, like whoever are there, and say that now we need your money. Please
I
come
know,
on
I
board.
know. Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, so that is the journey, and that is how it is. But if you need to just keep on believing in what you can do, and don't give up. Don't giving up is you don't lose or you don't fail until you give up. So there's nothing called as failure. You don't fail until you give up. Keep trying.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So is that the message that you'll also like to give to your entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs? Or there is anything else that you
I'll
would like
also
to
like to
contribute?
say, I'll also like to tell everybody that, you know what, trust me, this is the best time to start a startup in India. There
Okay.
has been never a better time and there will never be a better time. This is the best time. Here, there are tons and tons of people with tons and tons of liquidity looking out for only and only great ideas and great founders.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
people, now that I've done so many pitches and I've met so many people and so many investors, one thing I can vouch for is people are betting on the entrepreneur and the idea and then the
Absolutely.
business. So if you
Absolutely.
have a great idea and you have a vision to fulfill that idea, anybody is going to bet on you. You don't need to have money. You don't need to have great resources. It's all available. It's all available. There are a lot of incubators also who are dying to get you on board. Like I was incubated, not incubated. I had an accelerator who came on board in my second month. The huddle from Gurgaon, and when I
Wonderful.
was absolutely new, I knew nothing. So Sanil and Ishan, they had that, and Sarthak, they came on board then, and today they're good friends. Yeah, they've helped me reach here, and I'm always grateful. And I'm someone who doesn't, I don't think too much about equity and all of these things. I'm not someone who's stuck onto this. I want to create value. So if someone could come
Absolutely.
on board and help me create that value, more than welcome. So
Oh,
that's what, so all new young entrepreneurs, be there, look at excellence. Don't run beyond money. Run beyond excellence. Run beyond creating value. If you create value and if you create excellence, money is going to come chasing you. And
absolutely.
trust me, that happens like that. Yeah.
It's incredible. I think we had such a lovely conversation with you. We loved, understanding different dimensions of your business. We understand it. We understood your personality. We understood what uh, makes your business successful. And I think the last piece was very, very nice and interesting when you said, uh, you know, the investors nowadays are betting on the entrepreneur. They are betting on the idea. So everything will fall in place, right? We have a connected world now. You can connect with anybody. So if you need a marketer, you can connect with anybody. If you need
Absolutely.
CTO, you can connect. So those things can be taken
I
care
have
of.
four agencies that I work with, four agencies that I remotely work with. I have an in-house team. We are a good big team here, but we have four agencies that we work with from different parts of India.
Imagine.
I've not even met in most of them. I've just met a few of them, but we are working so closely for the last few months, and that's how the world has become today. We are remote. Yeah, we can work from anywhere.
Right. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sairaj. It was pleasure
Pleasure.
speaking with you. Thank you so much. We would love to connect with you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you.
Thank you.